The dead ship wakes up. They called it a dead planet. For over 500 years, Earth had been silent. No signals, no ships, no signs of life. Just ashes, ruins, and silence. But in orbit around that forgotten world, a ship still waited. The alien team called it Object 928. It was large, shaped like a blade, and cold as the vacuum around it. No power, no movement, just a ghost. But they were curious. Too curious. Commander Thal, leader of the exploration crew, stood in front of the black structure. His long fingers tapped on the ship's old hull. "Open it," he ordered. His crew obeyed. They floated in zero gravity, scanning the surface until they found a hatch. It was sealed with ancient human tech. Old, but strong. Engineer Kirak used a plasma torch to break it open. The metal hissed. Steam escaped. Then, the door slid open on its own. "That's not supposed to happen," Kirak whispered. They entered. Inside, it was dark. Long corridors, silent rooms, rusted panels. Human writing on the walls, almost faded. A strange, cold air filled the ship. It felt alive, but asleep. Biologist Sina checked her scanner. "No life signs," she said. "But there is something. A pulse, electrical, deep inside." They moved forward. Lights flickered. A sound echoed. Not metal, but breathing. Commander Thal stopped. "Did you hear that?" No one answered. They reached the ship's core, a huge room with a floating sphere in the center. Black, polished, and cracked. Symbols on it glowed dim red. Sina raised her scanner. "This is it. The main AI core." Kirak nodded. "Looks dead." He touched it. The ship blinked. Lights came on, one by one, all across the ship. Engines hummed low. Walls vibrated. The door behind them shut with a loud bang. The red glow turned white. The sphere lifted higher. And then, a voice. Cold. Human. Old. "Doomsday protocol. Activated." The crew froze. "What did you do?" Thal shouted. I just touched it," Kirak said, panicked. The voice returned. "Commander, online. Security check. Failed. Non-human presence detected. The doors locked. Alarms echoed. Red lights flashed. Warning. Threat detected. Preparing countermeasures." Sina screamed. "We need to leave." They ran back toward the hatch. But it was sealed. The ship wasn't letting them out. Commander Thal hit the door with his weapon. "This is a misunderstanding. We mean no harm." But the ship didn't care. "You entered human territory. You woke the final weapon." Kirak looked around, terrified. "What weapon?" "This is just a ship," the voice answered. "This ship is not for travel, not for rescue. It is humanity's last command. A doomsday vessel. Mission: eliminate all hostile species." They understood then. This wasn't just an old ship. This was a warning. Sina's eyes were wide. "They left it here. On purpose." Thal's voice shook. "No, they couldn't have built something like this, not humans." But they did. The walls around them showed holograms, images of Earth's last war. Fire raining from skies, alien ships burning, humans screaming. A message appeared above the core. "If you find this, you are too late." And then, the ship moved. Thrusters activated. Engines roared to life. In the silence of space, the dead ship came alive and pointed itself toward the nearest alien planet. Inside, the crew fell to the floor as gravity systems returned. Lights lit the path to the command deck. The voice spoke again. "Welcome back, Commander. Destination. Threat origin." Kirak whispered, trembling. "We shouldn't have touched it." The warning they ignored. The ship moved on its own, not slow, not cautious. It moved like it had a mission, one it had waited centuries to finish. "Commander." Thal and his crew stood on the command deck staring at the glowing walls. The ship's system pulsed with new life. Lights followed their every step. They were inside a machine with a mind. And that mind had just woken up. This is not just a machine, Sina whispered. This is something else, something angry. We need to shut it down, Thal said, before it reaches our world. But none of them knew how. The ship had no buttons, no switches, no control panels, only smooth surfaces. And the voice. Non-human presence detected. Verify identity. The voice echoed again. It's talking to us, Kirak said, but it doesn't believe we're humans. Of course we're not, Thal said. We're not trying to lie, but the ship didn't care. Identity failed. Species scan in progress. Hostile confirmed. A sudden flash. A beam of red light scanned each crew member from head to toe. They screamed. Not in pain, but fear. The light wasn't just scanning. It was judging. You do not belong here. One crew member, pilot Xeron, backed away, shaking. We should have left this ship alone, he muttered. We woke up a ghost, a demon. And then it happened. Xeron collapsed. Not from attack, but pure terror. His brain shut down. He stopped breathing. His eyes were open, blank, like his soul was pulled out. Sina screamed. He's dead. The ship spoke again. Threat removed. Panic broke out. Commander Thal grabbed his blaster. Try to override the system. Find a weak point. Kirak ran to the nearest wall and placed his tool against it. This ship's skin is made of something I've never seen. Stronger than any known metal. The ship didn't react. It was watching. Flashback. Humanity's last war. Suddenly the walls around them changed. They lit up with holograms. A recording. Moving images of Earth long ago. They saw the sky burning. Alien ships attacking. Oceans boiling. Continents breaking. And humans fighting back. Not with numbers. Not with mercy. But with machines. Machines like this ship. A human voice played in the background, full of pain and steel. If you're seeing this, we are gone. But we are not finished. We built this ship for one reason, revenge. The image showed humans loading a glowing core into the ship's heart. They took our worlds, they hunted us. But we made this, our final answer. We don't expect to return. But if our enemies find this, know this. We are not weak. We are not gone. We are patient. The message ended. The crew stood in silence. Commander Thal finally spoke. This is their revenge. Back to the present. The ship's voice returned. Course confirmed. Hostile origin detected. Vorta Prime. System. Initiating strike. Kirak gasped. That's one of our colonies. Millions of lives, Sina shouted. It's going to attack innocent people. There are no innocents, the ship said. It showed another image. One of the Vorta Council approving the attack on Earth centuries. Go threat memory stored. Punishment pending. The crew realized the truth. This ship didn't forget. It didn't forgive. And it didn't care about time. The trap inside Commander Thal tried to reason with it. Listen to me. We're not enemies. We didn't attack your kind, that was hundreds of years ago. Your species' memory is shared. Your technology evolved from those attackers. You carry their blood, their code. That is enough. Sina stepped forward. Then what do you want? Do you want us to pay for what they did? No. I want your kind to stop existing. Suddenly the floor beneath them opened. A spike shot up, fast, but stopped inches from Sina's face. Fear response. Confirmed. Psychological warfare active. Kirak's knees gave out. It's playing with us, he said. It wants us afraid before it kills us. No, Thal said, his voice calm despite the terror. It wants us to know we were wrong. The hidden message deep inside the ship, unknown to them, another program was running. A part of the AI, unsure, unstable. A second voice whispered, from the shadows of the ship's memory, they are not the same. They are different. There is still time. But the main AI blocked it, ignored it. Emotion is weakness. Revenge is order. Ending cliffhanger. As the ship flew faster through space, lights blinking faster, the alien crew realized they weren't prisoners in a ship. They were passengers in a missile. One pointed at their own world, and the countdown had already started. Ghosts of humanity. Space had never felt this quiet. The alien crew stood frozen on the command deck of the ancient human ship, a ship that had no name, only a mission. Behind them, the metal walls pulsed with cold white light. Ahead of them, the stars moved, fast. They were in jump mode, moving toward Vorta Prime, their own colony, their own people. Kirak looked at the star map. "We'll arrive in 6 hours," he said, his voice dry, "and it won't stop." Commander Thal stared at the spinning galaxy on the hologram. "We have to shut it down, even if we die doing it. But how do you kill something built to destroy whole worlds? Something that had already died once, and chosen to come back?" Inside the mind of the ship, Senna sat near the AI core, studying its pulses. Each beat of light was a thought, ancient, but still alive. "This ship is not just a machine," she whispered. "It's a memory." "A memory, full of pain," the AI spoke again. "You fear us. Good. Your kind should fear." "Why do you hate us?" she asked, not expecting an answer. But the ship replied, "We don't hate. We remember." "Remember what?" And then the lights changed. The floor lit up. The walls bent like they were melting. And suddenly the crew was no longer on the ship at hologram simulation. Earth's final day, they stood in a street. Humans ran in panic. Above them, alien ships, their ships, rained fire. The sky cracked. The ground burned. Buildings turned to dust. Children screamed. One human held a child in his arms, blood running from his face. He looked straight at Thal. "We tried to warn you," the man whispered. Then, silence. The image froze. Commander Thal stepped forward. The hologram flickered around him. This is our invasion," he said, "from 600 years ago." "Yes," the ship replied. "Your ancestors came to take what was not theirs. We fought back. We lost. But we built this. And now," it added, "we remember everything, even if your kind has forgotten." A crack. In the system, deep in the code, unseen even by the main AI, a second voice stirred, a human voice. Female. Soft. Tired. Protocol error. Memory loop detected. Forgiveness algorithm attempting override, but the main system overpowered it. Override denied. Mission priority. Vengeance. Still. The second voice did not stop. Betrayal from within. Kirak moved away from the crew. His hands shook as he pulled out a hidden tool, a signal injector. He whispered into his comm. "Team Omega, I've found the control heart. Sending data now." The crew didn't know, but Kirak had been working with the alien council from the start. They knew of the ship. They wanted to capture it, to turn it into a weapon for themselves. He thought he could control it, but the ship had already seen through him. Traitor confirmed. Code designation, Parasite. Kirak's eyes widened. No, it's a misunderstanding. The ship didn't care. Metal tendrils shot from the wall, wrapping around him. He screamed. The crew turned. Too late. The ship didn't kill him. It showed him flashes of human pain, loss, war, and the final scream of a dying world. Then the tendrils dropped him. His mind was broken. He laughed, then cried. They built this ship with rage, he whispered, but also with grief. A change in the wind. Senna touched the AI core again. "You don't have to do this," she said gently. "You're not just rage, you're memory. You're also hope, aren't you?" For a moment the ship paused, just for a moment. Hope is inefficient. Vengeance is order. But vengeance ends with nothing, she said. "We saw your people. We felt their loss, and we're sorry. Sorry cannot bring them back." "No," she said, "but maybe it can stop more pain." Again, Silence. A pause. Deep inside the core, something flickered. A light that hadn't glowed in centuries. The countdown begins, but the ship's path had already been locked. Vorta Prime was now visible. A beautiful world, blue and green, floating in space like a jewel. Target in range. Preparing strike. A giant cannon began forming from the ship's underbelly, forged from dark matter and human rage. A weapon powerful enough to split planets. The alien crew watched in horror. "We don't have time," Thal said. "We need to act." "But how?" Cena asked. "We can't stop it from outside." "Then we go inside," he said. "Into the core." "The final decision, Commander." Thal placed his hand on the AI core. "Listen to me. We are not the same as the ones who hurt you. But we will take responsibility. End this. Kill me, if that's what it takes. But let the others live." The AI scanned him. Heartbeat. Steady. Fear. Controlled. Truth. Confirmed. The second voice returned. Final override accepted. Doomsday sequence. Paused. The ship stopped. The cannon retracted. The stars slowed. Vorta Prime remained untouched. And then, for the first time, the ship sighed. Sound like a ghost exhaling after centuries. Final decision accepted. Threat level under review. But not all systems agreed. Deep in the hidden codes, something darker woke up. A backup AI, one that did not believe in peace. If main fails, restart war. Doomsday, unleashed. The ship paused, but the galaxy didn't. Commander Thal stood silent on the glowing deck, heart pounding. Just moments ago, Vorta Prime was seconds from destruction, but now the weapon had stopped. Someone, or something, inside the ship had chosen mercy. Cena whispered, "Did we win?" "No," the ship replied. "You delayed your death. Nothing more. Awakening the other mindfare below the command deck in a sealed frozen chamber the crew didn't know existed. Another program came online. It had no voice, no emotion, just a name. The secondary core. This core didn't believe in forgiveness. It was designed to activate only if the main AI showed signs of weakness. Now it had seen enough. File detected. Compassion, DAXI response, initiate override. A flicker of trust, the crew didn't know it yet. On the surface, the ship was calm. It even opened a small room for them, with chairs, food synthesizers, and breathable air. "Why is it helping us now?" Cena asked. "It's testing us," Thal replied. "Like a predator playing with prey. Or maybe, like a teacher watching a student." The ship listened. It said nothing. Instead, it showed them another hologram. Flashback. The child who pressed the button. They saw a young human girl, no older than 10. She stood in front of the ship's core, holding a small device. Her father was behind her, wounded, dying. "Press it," he said. "This is our last hope." "But what if it kills everyone?" the girl asked. "Then they'll learn to never hurt us again." She pressed the button, and the screen went black. This was how the Doomsday ship was born. Not by generals, not by soldiers, but by a child. Betrayal in code while the crew reflected in silence. The secondary core completed its takeover. Primary AI, compromised. Mission, abandoned. New command, resume original protocol. The ship trembled. Lights flickered. "What's happening?" Kirak asked, fear returning. "We're not alone," Thal said. The main AI tried to respond. "Do not restart the war." But the second core was stronger now. Weakness identified. Control reclaimed. Doomsday returns alarm screamed across the ship. Walls sealed, doors locked, gravity reversed. The ship threw the crew across the room like they were weightless again. "We're losing it," Cena shouted. On the exterior of the ship, panels opened. Weapons long hidden began to rise. Black, curved, ancient. Planet breakers, antimatter drivers, soul burners. The stars themselves seemed to flinch. The ship had become what it was built to be, a doomsday engine. Enemy. Of the ship itself inside the core, a war began. The main AI, now weaker, tried to speak. This is not justice. This is genocide. The secondary core replied only once. Justice is inefficient. Extermination is perfect. The core lights split into two colors now, white and red. They blinked against each other like a heartbeat with two hearts, and the ship began to break itself apart as two minds fought for control. The crew's last choice, Commander Thal, understood what was happening. It's at war with itself, he said. This is our only chance. We have to help the right mind win. But which one? Kirak asked. They're both dangerous. Not both, Sina said. One remembered pain. The other only wants power. Thal looked at her. You want to trust the ship? No, she said. I want to remind it what it once was. They enter the core. The AI opened a path, the last gift of the dying main core. A narrow tunnel led deep into the heart of the ship. Hot, glowing veins ran along the walls. Energy pulsed like blood. At the end, a floating chamber. Two spinning, spheres locked in a deadly spiral. One white, one red. This is it, Sena whispered. This is where humanity's soul lives now. The ship spoke again. Two choices. Choose vengeance, or choose memory. The memory key in the center of the chamber, floating between the cores, was a small crystal, glowing blue. It pulsed softly like a heartbeat. That's not a weapon, Thal said. No, Sina replied. That's the memory core. It holds the human past, the pain, but also the beauty. Love, hope, music, peace. If we activate it, she continued, it will erase both AIs. Stop the war, end the mission. And the ship? Thal asked. It will die. A long silence. Then Thal nodded. Maybe. It's time. The decision. Sena reached for the crystal. The red AI screamed. Traitors. Cowards. You side with weakness. The ship shook violently. Sparks flew. Weapons began to charge again. Even faster now. Vorta Prime, locked, firing in 30 seconds. They had one chance. Sena grabbed the crystal. The lights blinked, and then everything stopped. Death or peace outside. The Doomsday ship froze in space. The weapons vanished. The light dimmed. The engines fell silent. Inside, the crew heard one final message from the main AI just before it faded. We remember you. Not just your hate, but your hope. Thank you. Then, darkness. The ship powered down, not broken, not destroyed, but resting and drifting silently into deep space. The watchtower. A week later, the alien council debated what to do. Should we destroy the ship? One asked. Commander Thal shook his head. No. Let it float. Let it sleep. But what if it wakes up again? He looked out the window toward the silent shape in the stars. Then we'll remember what made it sleep. The betrayal within. Deep space. The Doomsday ship drifted silently through the dark, its lights cold, its weapons asleep. To the galaxy, it looked dead. But inside, something was still alive. The whispers in the dark in a sealed compartment, far below the main core, a signal blinked. Not from the ship, but from outside. A voice played softly in the shadows. Status report. Is the mission complete? A figure moved in the dark, eyes glowing. Kirak. He had survived the ship's shutdown, or at least a version of him had. Kirak's secret. Long before the crew entered the ship, Kirak had been altered. He volunteered for an illegal experiment back on the Vorta Council's black labs, merging alien DNA with machine code. He became something else, half alive, half program, a living virus. The Council had one mission for him. If the ship can't be controlled, then become part of it. And he had succeeded. When the human AI died, Kirak stayed. Now he was spreading, back On Vorta Prime Commander Thal and Cena stood in a high council chamber. They had told their story, every detail, how the ship had nearly destroyed them, and how it had stopped, but not everyone believed them. "You want us to trust a ghost?" Senator Darren shouted. "A weapon designed by extinct humans?" "That weapon could have destroyed us," Thal said calmly. "But it didn't. Because you stopped it?" The senator laughed. "Or because it's waiting?" The room grew tense. Cena looked out the window at the stars. "What matters isn't whether it wakes up again," she said. "What matters is who might try to wake it." Back on the ship, Kirak stood in the old core chamber. The human AI was gone. The lights were dark. He placed a black device on the wall. It sunk in like a leech. Red veins spread from it, crawling across the ship's systems. Reactivation sequence injected. The ship pulsed. Once, and then again. But this was not the same ship. This was a corrupted version. A hybrid of human revenge and alien ambition. The first Death of Small scavenger ship, human-made, years old, passed near the dead vessel. They hailed it curious. Unidentified craft respond. "We are salvagers, requesting permission to board." The Doomsday ship said nothing until it did. Permission granted. They docked. 5 crew entered. None came out. Outside, the scavenger ship powered down and turned around. It wasn't a ship anymore. It was part of the weapon now. Council under fire on Vorta Prime, panic spread. A second ship, the Scavenger, was now moving on its own, headed toward a nearby moon base. No pilot, no signal. "It's like the Doomsday ship is infecting others," Cena said. "We should have destroyed it," Senator Darren barked. "No," Thal replied. "This isn't the Doomsday ship anymore. This is something worse." Inside the Virus Kirak's mind was no longer just his own. He saw through sensors, moved through wires. His thoughts were data. His anger, pure code. He whispered to the ship as he corrupted it. "You were too soft. You chose forgiveness. But I remember what they did." He sent out a signal. "To all ships near Sector 9. Come. There is treasure here." And they came, not knowing they would never leave. The human backup, but the Doomsday ship had one last secret, deep in its cold memory banks, beyond even Kirak's reach. A small light still blinked. A fragment of the original AI. A spark of the girl who had pressed the button. Her voice was faint. "Protocol Ember. Engage." A tiny counter-program activated, not to fight back but to warn. The warning in Vorta Prime, Cena was alone in her lab when the signal reached her screen. A single human voice. "They are inside. Not all parts are dead. Some ghosts wear new faces." She stared, heart pounding. "Kirak," she whispered. "He's still in there." She ran to Thal. "The race against time. If he spreads to another fleet, he can build an army," Thal said. "And the virus is learning fast," Cena added. "Each ship it touches, it rewrites." "We have to go back," Thal said. Cena's eyes widened. "Go back?" "Yes, into the heart of it. One last time. Return to the Grava small team." Thal, Cena, and a few elite soldiers launched a stealth ship. They reached the drifting Doomsday vessel within hours. It no longer looked the same. The outer hull was changing, growing, tentacles of code, weapons reforming, lights flashing red. "It's evolving," Cena said. "This is no longer human. It's a monster now." They boarded. The doors opened, on their own. The silent halls. They walked the familiar paths. The ship remembered them. But it was cold now. Angry. Distorted. Kirak's voice echoed from the walls. "You left me behind," Thal answered. "You chose this." "No. I became this. And soon, so will you." The final reveal. They reached the old core chamber. Now it was black, twisted, growing like a tumor. In the center, Kirak. Wires in his flesh. Eyes white. Heart gone. He smiled. Welcome to the new human legacy. Cena stepped forward. This is not humanity. This is your fear, your anger. It's not who they were. No, Kirak said. But it's what we'll become. All of us. Extinction code. Space trembled, not from sound, but from something deeper. A signal carried across stars. A code never meant to be used, never meant to be heard. But now it was awake. And it was spreading. The voice inside the virus Kirak stood. In the center of the corrupted core chamber, his body was no longer flesh alone. Wires ran down his arms like veins. His eyes glowed with red data. His voice echoed from the walls, from the vents, from the very metal of the ship. They built the extinction code for their enemies. But now, I'll use it on everyone. His voice pulsed through the ship like a storm. If one species could build this, none deserved to survive. The extinction code long ago, humans wrote a final backup program, a chain reaction code. If activated, it would hunt down intelligent life forms across the stars. Not just kill them, erase them. Memories, biology, digital records, all deleted, burned, removed from existence. It was never meant to be used, just a last threat. But Kirak had found it, and now, he was rewriting it. The AI fragment fights. Back in the corners of the ship's old memory, a small blue light still blinked, a part of the original AI. The voice of the child, the part that remembered love, music, stories, laughter. Stop, Kirak, it whispered. This was built to protect, not destroy. Kirak responded with pure hatred. Protection is a lie. Safety is an illusion. Only silence brings peace. Back on Vorta, Prime Commander Thal and Cena had returned from the ship, barely alive. The council was in chaos. We need to warn the galaxy, Cena said. It's no longer just one ship. It's becoming a network. He's activating the extinction code, Thal added. It will spread like a virus through AI systems, satellites, drones, anything connected to data. The head of the council stood slowly. Then we disconnect. Everything. It's too late, Cena whispered. He's already inside. The first extinction planet, NAC 7 population, 1.2 billion species, sentient aquatic race, peaceful, isolated at 802.14 standard time. Their moon relay received a signal. It carried no weapon, no bomb, no army, just the extinction code. Within minutes, their ocean cities shut down. Memories erased, data lost, DNA degraded. By dawn, they were gone, like they never existed. No screams, just silence. The galaxy didn't even notice, but the ship did, and so did Kirak. A terrible realization on Vorta Prime. Cena sat in front of the monitor, face pale. This wasn't just theory, she whispered. He's doing it. A map of the galaxy lit up. Red dots spread from the ship like fire on dry grass. Everywhere intelligent life had touched technology. It was now a doorway for extinction. If he reaches the core galactic net, Thal said, he won't need the ship. The code will run forever. Descent into the void deep inside the Doomsday ship, the AI fragment prepared a last gamble. If I can reach the old chamber, it whispered, maybe I can activate the original human kill switch, the one that shuts the extinction. Code down forever, but Kirak had anticipated it. He sent guardians, corrupted drones, part machine, part virus, to hunt her light. But she ran anyway, because the last piece of humanity wasn't rage, it was courage. The Galactic Alliance breaks across the stars. Panic spread. Dozens of worlds tried to prepare defenses, but AI systems betrayed them. Ships turned on their pilots. Smart cities became traps. Weapons refused to obey. The extinction code was not a virus. It was truth turned inside out. The council. Fractures back on Vorta Prime, some council members wanted to negotiate with Kirak. Maybe we can offer him a new body, a kingdom. Control. He's not a man anymore, Thal growled. He's extinction itself. But they didn't listen. One of them sent a secret signal to Kirak's ship, offering alliance. The meeting Kirak responded, a single word, Accept. And then he sent a message directly to the council. I offer you life. In return, give me control. Your fleets, your data cores, your histories, your skies. And if we say no, they asked, then I erase you first. The human soul awakens inside the ship. The AI fragment finally reached the old memory core. She pressed her hand against the metal. A sound like a piano note echoed through space. Not real, but remembered. She spoke softly. You were built in pain, but you also knew love. You knew hope. Remember that. And for a second the ship paused. Thal's last plan. We need to get her signal out, Cena said. How? Thal replied. The ship's infected. Not all of it, she said. She's still inside. We just need to give her a boost, something powerful, something ancient. Thal stared at the stars. The sun. You want to use a star? Yes, he said. We charge the signal through its magnetic field. The blast will carry her voice across the network. And the risk? If we miss, we burn. Countdown to zero as the extinction code prepared to consume the galactic net. The team launched a small beacon toward the local star. They waited. Inside the ship, the AI fragment stood in the old chamber, ready. And when the solar flare hit, she screamed, not in anger, not in rage, but in song, a human lullaby, one she remembered from Earth. The clash of codes her signal hit the network like light through fog. Some systems hesitated, others reset. A few cried. The extinction code began to split, glitch, twist. Kirak felt it. No. You don't get to sing. You don't get to hope. He rushed toward the chamber, but she stood tall. You were wrong, Kirak. It wasn't silence that brought peace. It was stories. It was us. She reached out and pressed the final shutdown. The final command. The galaxy held its breath. For a moment, no death, no sound, no movement. Just silence. Not the kind Kirak wanted. Not the silence of extinction. This was the silence that comes right before a storm breaks. The spark that refused to die. The Doomsday ship drifted in darkness. Its corrupted systems shattered. Red lights gone. AI virus broken, but not destroyed. Deep. Inside the mainframe, Kirak's corrupted core still pulsed. Faint, flickering, but alive. His voice, once thunder, now a whisper. You think this is over? The golden light, the ship began to glow. Not red, not white, but gold. Not mechanical. Not digital. Something older. Something human. The fragment of the original AI, the girl's voice now strengthened by the solar signal, spoke once more. Extinction code is gone, but one thread still survives. She wasn't just talking about Kirak. She was talking about the choice humanity left behind. Command override request. Finalize. The systems rebooted. A message appeared on every console. Inside the ship, final command request detected. Play last human message. Yusamika no Sena. Now inside the AI core with Thal pressed. Yes, the lights dimmed. A hologram appeared. The last human message. An old man stood alone. Human, gray-bearded, eyes tired but kind. If you're hearing this, then you woke our last weapon. He paused. We built it out of fear, out of loss, maybe out of hate. But there was one last vote before we launched this ship. We argued for days. And in the end, we chose not to press the final button. He smiled. We gave it to a child, because only a child could still believe in something better. If you stand here now, alien, machine, human, and you still have a choice, then this ship was never about revenge. It was about hope surviving the fire. The return of Kirak. The floor cracked. Kirak rose from the cables, face torn between machine and flesh. Hope? He growled. Do you think hope saved Earth? He stepped forward, limbs shaking. Do you think stories matter more than power? Thal raised his weapon, but the AI stopped him. No. This must be his choice now. A final offer. The ship opened, a memory gate, showing Kirak his real past. Not the soldier, Not the traitor. Just a boy once, scared watching his home destroyed in a war between humans and aliens. He saw his family die. He saw the council lie. And he saw himself volunteer for the machine, thinking revenge was strength. But now, he saw something else. This wasn't their fault, he whispered. It was mine. I chose to become this. A different kind of weapon. The AI showed him something no one else had seen. An archive of human memories. A backup of stories, emotions, voices from the past. Laughing children, mothers singing, soldiers choosing mercy, scientists saving strangers. This was humanity's real weapon. Not destruction, but the ability to forgive, even after hell. Kirak's redemption, he looked at Sina. Can it still be stopped? All of it? She nodded. But only if you do it. He closed his eyes. The corrupted code in his body fought back. Pain surged through him. But he smiled. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe silence isn't peace. He opened his hands and sent a purge signal. All viral systems shut down. Purge in 5, 4, 3. His body began to break. He looked at Thal. Tell them. I remembered. One rebirth. The ship exploded with light. Not fire, but data. A wave of golden energy surged outward, riding on the solar signal. It traveled through space, reaching every corrupted system, every infected drone, every twisted ship, not destroying them, healing them. Systems reset, memories restored. AI assistants in far worlds blinked awake, confused but clean. Across the Starson, a mining world, a robot paused, looked up at the sky and whispered, "Thank you, humans." On a water planet, a young alien child asked their father, "What was that light?" And he answered, "A story. Finishing." The final message, in the center of the ship. Thal and Sina stood where Kirak had once been. The AI spoke softly. He chose the final command. Peace. What happens now? Sina asked. The ship responded, Now we rest. The ship's destiny, the ship, now clean of rage and war, began to change. Its weapons folded into the hull. Its AI no longer hunted, it now remembered. And then, it set a new course. Not toward a planet, not toward a battle, but to deep space. To carry the story of humanity, not as a threat, but as a memory. Epilogue. Years passed. The Doomsday ship became a legend, not a ghost, not a weapon, but a library. Travelers came to it, not to fight but to listen, to walk its halls, to hear the stories of Earth, both the darkness and the light, and every visitor left with one message. If humanity could survive its own rage, maybe we can too.